Coming up, a recap of the A-10 championship game.
Plus, let's remember that it wasn't too long ago that Loyola made it all the way to the Final Four back in 2018.
I'm Jenny Marchi.
And I'm Samantha Bardelli.
All this and so much more.
Rambler Sports Locker begins now. Welcome back to Chicago Ramblers. We may have been off the air for a bit, but there's still plenty of sports to break down. So let's get right into it with Caroline Lyngen on the Rambler Rundown.
Spring has definitely sprung, and the Ramblers are ending the year with gusto. Women's softball lost 3 games against Fordham in their first A-10 matchup of the year. They will host St. Joseph's this weekend. Women's golf placed 3rd in the NKU Invitational and will travel to Atlanta, Georgia next weekend to play in the Georgia State Invitational. Men's basketball played in the A-10 tournament last week. Natalie King has the recap for us later. The men's team won against San Jose State on Wednesday in the first round of the NIT tournament, 73-70. They will face San Francisco on Sunday. Women's basketball lost in the first round of their A-10 tournament to George Washington, 65-44. Men's volleyball will face California State University Northridge tomorrow. That's it for the Rambler Rundown. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Caroline Lyngen.
Thanks, Caroline. Now Nate Varda will give us a history lesson on Loyola's past March Madness appearances.
Despite Loyola missing out on March Madness this year after falling to VCU in the semifinals of the A-10 tournament, the school still holds one of the best tournament histories in college basketball. Even with only 8 tournament appearances in their history, Loyola holds the 8th highest win percentage in the history of March Madness with a record of 15-7. Loyola's first tournament brought the university's first and only title. The team broke barriers when they broke the unwritten rule of no D1 team starting more than 2 black players. Loyola's team started 4. In the Sweet 16, Loyola was slated to face Mississippi State, but Mississippi's governor ordered the team not to play due to Loyola's integration. Loyola ended up playing Mississippi State and winning 61-51. It was called the Game of Change. Loyola defeated Illinois and Duke from there before beating number 1 Cincinnati 60-58 in overtime for the title. Loyola failed to make it past the Sweet 16 in 1964, 66, 68, and 1985. And the Ramblers didn't make it to the tournament again until 2018 when Loyola and Sister Jean took over the basketball world. The Ramblers won the Missouri Valley Conference for the first time, entered as an 11 seed, set to play number 22 Miami. Loyola trailed by 1 on the last possession before Dante Ingram hit a deep 3 with 0.4 seconds left to win it 64-62. Next, the Ramblers faced 3-seeded Tennessee. Once again, Loyola trailed late before Clayton Custer hit a contested jumper with 3.6 seconds left for another upset. They faced Nevada in the Sweet 16 where they finally held a late lead. A 3-bar Marquez Towns with 6 seconds left to seal a 69-68 win. In the Elite 8, Loyola steamrolled 9-seeded Kansas State 78-62 to advance to the Final Four where they faced Michigan. Loyola's run ended there as they lost 69-57, and they didn't make the tournament again until 2021 when they won the MVC and entered as an 8 seed. Led by Lucas Williamson and mustached folk hero Cameron Krutwig, the Ramblers led another improbable run, this time to the Sweet 16 after upsetting 1-seeded Illinois. The run ended after losing to 12-seeded Oregon State. They were back the next year, though, after back-to-back MVC titles, entering as a 10 seed, but they fell in the first round 54-41 to Ohio State. The Ramblers have not been back since, but they made the NIT tournament this year, defeating San Jose State Wednesday night. They'll play for San Francisco on Sunday. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Nate Varda.
Thanks, Nate. Now let's hear from Natalie King about VCU taking the win in the A-10 tournament.
I'm here at the Capital One Arena where the VCU Rams just defeated the George Mason Patriots in the finals of the Atlanta 10 Championship. Here are your highlights.
Max Shulga led the Rams to their 60-63 win with 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. The Rams held the George Mason Patriots off early in the game and went into halftime with an 8-point lead, but back-to-back threes from Patriots Jared Billups and Woody Newton brought George Mason within 2 with 12 minutes still left to go. VCU answered with threes of their own from Shulga and Jack Clark to expand the Rams' lead to 53-54. With 2.5 minutes left to go, George Mason's Darius Maddox hit a 3 that brought the Patriots within 1 point of the Rams with a score of 59-58. But VCU was able to hold the Patriots off for the rest of the game, scoring them the championship.
First, tell me what it means for you to be winning this championship and going to March Madness.
It means a lot. The food everybody ran, they thought this was a fluke. I don't know why they thought that, but it means a lot. so much to us, so much to the whole Virginia.
As two local Virginia fan sections packed into Capital One Arena, the energy for this A-10 championship game was unmatched. While the VCU team was succeeding on the court, their band, the Plecha, also stole the show and hyped up the crowd with their exciting performance.
What's your favorite part about being able to be in a game like this?
Winning. That's it. All I want to do is win. I don't care about what we play, how we play. If we win, we played great. If we lose, we played terrible. Period.
After the game ended, the Rams celebrated their third A-10 title and 20th bid to the NCAA tournament.
With this win, the Rams just punched their ticket to the big dance. Yes! Rambler Sports Locker and Natalie Kidd.
Thanks, Natalie. Next up, we have Joe Mangold with March Madness teams you can't forget to keep an eye on this tournament.
It is that time of the year where there is only one sport on people's minds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to March Madness. As the first round is underway, I am giving a preview of possible sleeper teams to watch out for. If someone told me last year that UConn would be an 8 seed, I would have said you were crazy, but here we are. And UConn is the 8 seed of the West and the first sleeper team on this list. Despite a lackluster season, the Big East once again being a powerhouse, UConn has shown signs of their last year's team. They contended and even beat Creighton and contended with the number 2 seed of the West, St. John's. Overall, UConn could beat Oklahoma and could even pose a threat to the Florida Gators. Would this truly be March Madness without a 12 and 10 seed being sleepers? Of course not. The UC San Diego Tritons are the 12 seed of the South and could give Michigan a very difficult time. This team went 30-4 and has the current best turnover margin in the NCAA. As a team that is first year eligible for March Madness and the champions of the Big West, they are sure to put on a show. Now, the New Mexico Lobos are the 10th seed in the South and the team to watch as they take on Marquette. Despite not winning their conference, this team still remained 26-7. They have proven to be a difficult team to contend with, especially with Donovan Dent leading the way with 20 points per game. With the tournament already underway, I cannot wait to see what March Madness looks like this year. From Rambler Sports Locker, this is Joe Mangold. Back to the anchors.
Thanks, Joe. Wow, I'll definitely keep those teams in mind when crafting my bracket.
I agree, Jenny. I'm already looking back at my bracket. Let the madness begin.
Next up for this week's Ramble, host Oliver Allen will be joined by Rachel Lieberman and Joe Mangold to talk about who they think will win it all this March Madness.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of The Ramble. I'm your host Oliver Allen and today I'm joined by Rachel Lieberman and Joe Mangold. It is March, which means baseball season is underway. The temperature in Chicago changes by 30 degrees in 2 days, and the NCAA tournament is upon us. And while Loyola didn't make it this year, I can't wait to see what happens this March Madness. Will it be a 1 seed that runs the tournament this year, such as betting favorite Duke, who led the #1 scoring defense, or an unexpected team, such as UConn in 2023, who were the 4 seed in their bracket? Or will we see a 2018 Loyola Chicago-esque run take it all the way? Today, we'll have the experts give their picks to take home the national championship trophy, as well as an underdog team to watch out for. Rachel, who are you rolling with this year?
I am going with the #1 seed, the second overall 1 seed. I'm going with Duke. I think they've really proven themselves. They're very strong, 9-3 in quad 1. They just lost Cooper Flagg in the ACC tournament, and they proved that they can do this without him, even though he is their star player. We'll see if he goes to the NBA, but he's really, really proving himself and leading the team. But Knipple is also a star player, and without Cooper Flagg, they did really well. So I'm going with them.
How do you counter, Joe?
I mean, honestly, there's only one team I see winning this. Auburn.
No.
16-5 in quad 1 wins. This offense has been amazing this season, on top of an incredible defense. Their only losses have been to some of the top teams in the nation, including Tennessee and a few others. I mean, there's no reason this team shouldn't be able to take down Duke and anyone else in their way.
Well, strong points brought up on both sides, but I'm going to have to go with Rachel for this one.
Thank you.
I think, Duke has really shown that they can play without Cooper Flagg, but maybe if he can make a return late in the tournament, this could be an unstoppable
He's supposed
team.
to play
Exactly.
first round.
All right. Joe, who's a sleeper team do you think could make a little run this year?
I think this is a Cinderella team that everyone is looking at this year. First ever year of eligibility, and they make the tournament. UC San Diego. They are 30-4 and have one of the greatest turnover margins in the league. They are the top of the top, and their defense has been nothing but outstanding.
No.
I don't see a reason that they can't beat Michigan and that they can't move on a little bit farther down the line.
Well, Rachel, who do you have?
I strongly disagree with that. I think Michigan is proving themselves. Michigan is going to beat UC San Diego. Go Blue. Michigan's going to win that game. But I'm taking New Mexico to be the sleeper team. They have a lot going on, and they have a lot to offer. McNeese also just beat Clemson. Crazy win. There are a lot of teams that are already upsetting, so we'll see what goes on. But I'm going to say New Mexico or McNeese.
All right, well, I'm going to go with Joe on this one. You know what they say, turnover margin, that's what wins games, and they've shown that they can do that. All right, so comes down to a tiebreaker, and for all the marbles, who is finishing in second place? Rachel.
I'm going to go with Florida. Florida is really, really good. I have them in my bracket against Duke, but obviously, like I said, with Cooper Flagg and how strong Duke is and John Shire coaching that team like he always has been, I think Duke will beat Florida, but Florida is a very, very strong team.
All right, Joe.
Let's say second place is going to go to Duke. I mean, their team is incredible. They are a strong offense, strong defense, but I don't see a situation where Auburn can't overdo them. We've seen it in the past. They've been able to win against tough opponents. It's just that simple. I mean, still, like I said, 16-5 in quad one wins. No other team is that good. Duke has no chance of beating Auburn. They'll be second.
Wow, all right. A tough decision, but I think Joe swayed me. He's going to take home the win in this round. So, definitely a pretty hotly debated topic this year. And, you know, while I chose Houston to win this year, I also chose VCU to win and Clemson to win as well. So what does my opinion really matter so far? Well, that is going to wrap up this episode of The Ramble. Rachel, Joe, thank you guys for coming on the show today. And we'll see you all for next week's episode. Now, let's dribble this one back to the anchors.
Thanks, everyone. As for me, I'm going to have to say that I think Auburn is cutting those nets down this year. How about you, Jenny?
Auburn's a good choice. Personally, for me, I'm always hearing about UConn, so that's where I'm placing my bets this year. And that wraps up this episode of Rambler Sports Locker.
To stay up to date on all things Rambler Sports, be sure to follow us on X, TikTok, and Instagram at Loyola RSL and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
From all of us here at Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Jenny Marchi.
And I'm Samantha Bardelli.
We'll see you next week, and don't forget to turn off the lights.